Back in 2015, when I worked on my first design project, I was super excited to show it to my mentors. But when I did, something crushed my heart. It was a feedback. I took it so personally that I did not design for the next 2 or 3 days. But over time, I learned the reality that feedback is not our enemy, it is our friend. So in this video, I'm going to share the secret of how to take that annoying feedback in the right spirit. Let's check it out. Evaluate the source. Whenever you get a feedback, the first step is always to evaluate the source. Is it coming from someone with expertise or experience, or is it just coming from your boss who had too many cups of coffee, or a friend who is just in a bad mood? Also, pay attention to what is being said. Try to understand where is the person coming from. What is their perspective exactly? And that will help you greatly. That way you will not take every single feedback straight to the heart. You will know where a person is coming from. Maybe they just had a bad day and the feedback is not really on you, or maybe the feedback is about the work. So grab that good feedback and make a good change in your work. Since we're talking about understanding perspectives, always seek clarification. Feedback is always a dialogue, not a monologue. Sometimes it can actually come from a perspective and it can teach you something you never thought before. It can really give you that new idea or that new perspective you were looking all this while. So ask questions and clarify the context. If you're unsure about any aspect of the feedback, ask a question. If you're unsure about where the feedback is coming from, ask a question. If you're unsure about how to implement it, ask a question. Simply just ask and clarify. It will really help you break down the feedback. Don't be afraid of asking and clarifying, because this is an opportunity to learn and grow. After evaluating the source and seeking enough clarification, the next step is to break it down. Now is the time to reflect on the feedback you have got. Break it down, see what are the areas that can really help you improve. There might be some areas that you don't agree to, or you feel that I don't think I need to work on them. Cool, they're irrelevant for you. You can just park them on the side. And in situations where you think you're confused that should I do this, should I do that, you can get a second opinion. So ask for feedback from multiple people and you can list down all the overlapping areas. This will help you understand all the relevant areas where you can apply the feedback. And while you do that, remember, feedback is not about you. It is about your work. Do not think of it like an attack. It is really to help you get better. So don't just focus on the negatives, also focus on the positives and areas where you can improve and get better. Try to see this as an opportunity of growth rather than a criticism on you. And once you do that, it's time to implement it. Now you have a basic understanding of all the areas where you need to work on. Take them up step by step. It's not just to show that you've taken the feedback seriously, but to really improve you as a designer. And once you do that, ask for more. Are you guys enjoying the video so far? I'm sure you are. If you want to watch similar content, we have a huge list of videos on our channel. Make sure to check them out and hit the subscribe and the bell icon. For now, let's get back to the video. Now that you've implemented the relevant feedback, you're done with the hard part. It's time to follow up. Follow up with the person who gave you a feedback or an advice. Ask them questions like, what more can I do? Or what can I do to take it to the next level? This way, it will really help you build a rapport with the person, because they will see that you work hard, and who knows, you will end up making a good network of designers for yourself. Now, lastly, we'll end with gratitude. Now, this tip applies even if you got a good feedback or a bad feedback. Just acknowledge the source. Acknowledging the source really helps the other person understand that you heard them. So even if it was a critical feedback, most probably they will not keep coming back to you with the same critical feedback, because they know that you heard them. And if it was a good feedback, of course, end it with a gratitude. This can be at the end of the conversation or even at the beginning of it. Thank the person for taking out time to give you feedback. This really shows that you value their inputs. You can say things like, thanks for sharing the feedback, or thank you for bringing it to my awareness, or I really appreciate you letting me know this. These statements work in both good and bad situations. It's basically to acknowledge the feedback you have got and let the other person know you heard them. And if it was a good feedback, it's also used to thank them for their time. All in all, I know feedbacks can be overwhelming. Take a break if you have to. Go for a walk, eat a chocolate, or take a break if you really need to. Just don't sit with the feedback for too long. Take some action about it. Remember, the feedback is not your enemy. It is your friend. It can really help you create better designs and improve your skills. After all, it will make you the designer you've always wanted to be. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to love the video on how to give feedback as a designer. See you in the next one.